Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Son of Drona Punish, text number 38, has no purport. Translation. Furthermore, I personally heard you promise Draupadi that you would bring forth the head of the killer of her sons. Text 39. Tadaso vadyatam papa atatai yatma bandhuha pratuscha vipriyam vira kritavan kula pam sahana taraso vyatam taraso vadyatam papam atatayatma bandhuha pratuscha viparyam vira kritavan kula pam sanaha. Lady. Okay. Therefore, so this man, Vadyatam, will be killed. Papa, the sinner. Atitayi, assaulter. Atma, own. Bandhuha, killer of sons. Pratu, of the master. Cha, also. Vipriyam, having not satisfied. Vira, O warrior. Kritavan, one who has done it. Kola Pamsanaha, the burnt remnants of the family. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This man is an assassin and murderer of your own family members. Not only that, but he is also dissatisfied as master. He is but the burnt remnants of his family. Kill him immediately. Purport, the son of Dronacharya is condemned here as the burnt remnants of his family. The good name of Dronacharya was very much respected, although he joined the enemy camp. The Pandavas held him always in respect, and Arjuna saluted him before beginning the fight. There was nothing wrong in that. But the son of Dronacharya degraded himself by committing acts which are never done by the Dvijas, or the twice born. Higher castes. Ashvatthama, the son of Dronacharya, committed murder by killing the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi, by which he dissatisfied his master, Duryodhana, who never approved of the heinous act of killing the 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas. This means that Ashvatthama became an assaulter of Arjuna's own family members and thus he is liable to be punished by him. In the Shastras, he who attacks without notice, or kills from behind, or sets fire to another's house, or kidnaps one's wife, is condemned to death. Krishna reminded Arjuna of these facts so that he might take notice of them and do the needful. Text 40. Sudavacha evam parikshata dharmam partha krishnena choditaha nai chad dutum guru sutam yadyap yatma hanam mahan. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, although Krishna was examining Arjuna in religion, encouraged Arjuna to kill the son of Dronacharya, Arjuna, a great soul, did not like the idea of killing him. Although Ashwatthama was a heinous murderer of Arjuna's family members. Purport. Arjuna was a great soul, undoubtedly, which is proved here also. He is encouraged herein personally by the Lord to kill the son of Dronacharya. But Arjuna considered the son of his great teacher should be spared, for he happened to be the son of Dronacharya. Even though he was an unworthy son, having done all sorts of heinous acts, whimsically for no one's benefit. Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna outwardly just to test Arjuna's sense of duty. It is not that Arjuna was incomplete in the sense of his duty, nor was Lord Krishna unaware of Arjuna's sense of duty. But Lord Krishna put to test many of his pure devotees just to magnify the sense of duty. The gopis were put to such tests as well. Prahlad Maharaj was also put to such tests. All pure devotees come out successful in the respective tests by the Lord. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Buddhaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatindeve Gauravani Pacharne Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskadyade Siddharane. Interesting that in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, before the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna drew Arjuna's chariot in the midst of both the armies, and Arjuna said, Katam Bhishma Maham Sankhe Dronam Cha Manusudana Ishubi Pratiyotsyami Purjaha Varisudana. Katam, how can I kill in battle? Arjuna said, I'll kill the enemies. How can I counteract in battle men such as Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship? Guru Nahatvahi Mahadnubhavan Shayo Bhaktum Bhakshamapi Loke Hadvarta Kaman Suguruni Haiva Bunjaya Bhogan Rudiya Sakdidan. It is better to live by begging, Krishna says. Arjuna says. It's better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls, my teachers. If they're killed, even though desiring worldly gain, if they're superiors, if they're killed, then our spoils will be tainted by blood. So Arjuna, in the first part of the Bhagavad Gita, refuses to fight with his relatives and gives so many arguments. And Krishna has to speak at least 2 hours to convince Arjuna to fight. And ultimately, he wants Arjuna to kill his relatives as a matter of not only duty, but as a matter of the good for the relatives, such as Bhima and Drona, because he tells that even if they have to give up their body, they'll get a better one in the next lifetime, you're not really killing Bhishma and Drona, you're just changing their bodies. And Krishna wanted to install Yudhisthira Maharaj on the throne for the welfare of the planet. On the other hand, the battle of Kurukshetra has ended, and now Krishna is encouraging Arjuna to kill Ashvatthama, who did more heinous acts than Bhishma or Drona, in the sense that he acted in an irregular way according to the laws of fighting. You're not supposed to kill people who are asleep, warriors who are asleep. It's not the codes of Kshatriya behavior. And yet Krishna is just testing Arjuna, because Arjuna had refused to fight, and Krishna spoke before the battlefield of Kurukshetra, encouraging him to fight. And now Krishna is also encouraging him to kill his relatives, but he doesn't really want Arjuna to kill his relative, Ashvatthama. He's testing him. So how do you know when Krishna is testing you and when he's actually serious? It's not easy to figure it out. Arjuna could have said, my dear Krishna, previously I didn't want to kill my relatives. You spent the whole Bhagavad Gita encouraging me to do so. Now again you're encouraging me to kill this Ashvatthama, and yet you really don't want me to kill Ashvatthama. You're testing me to see if I'm going to kill him. So how do I know if this is a test or whether you actually want me to kill him? If I kill him, and then you say, well, you failed the test, why did you kill him? Because you told me to do it. And previously you told me I didn't want to kill anyone. You told me to do it, and I did it, and then you praised me for it. So how do we know? Actually, we don't know. But it was a test, and somehow or another, Arjuna could figure it out. Actually, there was a committee meeting of Arjuna, Krishna, Bhima, Yudhisthira Maharaj, and Draupadi, and Ashvatthama to figure it out what to do. So Krishna wanted many different points of view so that they could understand what's to be done. Of course, they didn't kill Ashvatthama. Instead, they cut off a jewel on his head and let him go. So was that a good thing? Because the next thing Ashvatthama does is try to kill the last remaining inheritor of the throne, Parikshit Maharaj. So what was the point of releasing Ashvatthama? He didn't appreciate it. He still tried to kill everyone. He released 5 Brahmastra weapons that the Pandavas had to counteract. First he tried to kill Arjuna by releasing 1 Brahmastra, and then Arjuna arrested him, and then they discussed whether they should kill him or not, what they should do with him. Then they decided to let him go, be merciful, just cut off the jewel in his head. And then he winds up trying to kill them all. What kind of morality, what kind of justice, what kind of system are they working under? Are they fools? Sentimental fools? Not only they try to kill the 5 Pandavas with Brahmastra weapons, but little child in the womb they throw Brahmastra at. It's like trying to throw an atomic bomb at an ant. Is that very fair? In any case, Krishna personally saved Parikshit Maharaj. The Pandavas saved themselves in the Himalayas, waiting for the end of Kali Yuga. Lost all his effulgence. And I guess I don't know what he's doing now. I mean, it's been 5,000 years. Maybe he's kind of reformed a little bit, come to peace with himself. But we probably won't know, unless you want to stay here till the end of Kali Yuga, and you can ask him when he comes back again. In any case, one point is that there's a justice system that is based upon the laws of Manu, and the laws of Manu are based upon the reality of the eternality of the soul and the desires of the Supreme Soul as the Paramatma within a heart, who knows what's to be done under different circumstances. So the Manu Samhita gives some indication under different circumstances what should be done and what should not be done in terms of justice in the world. And Manu is a representative of Krishna. He's Manvatara. He knows exactly what to write. But still, justice is never simple in the material world. Even after consultation with Krishna and the son of Dharmaraj, the son of Yamaraj, Yudhisthira Maharaj, the incarnation of the goddess of fortune, Draupadi, the son of Indra, still, we don't really know if this is actually the proper justice that they did. They would have killed him, they would have saved a lot of time, but that wasn't Krishna's desire. And of course, Bhima is the son of Vayu. So what to speak of ourselves? How much, when we try to make judgments, how accurate we are in figuring out what's to be done and what's not to be done. All we can do is try, but we should become conscious and see what the results are. In other words, before we act, we're supposed to assimilate the knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita at least, because we're not generally judges, but at least we have to judge just like a judge what's to be done and what's not to be done. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Pravitim cha, nivritim cha, jana navido asara, socham napichachiro nasatyam teshu vidyate. That those who are demoniac, they don't know it's pravriti. Pravriti means what you're supposed to do. And what is nivriti? They don't know that either, what you're not supposed to do. Neither cleanliness, nor truthfulness, nor proper behavior is found in them. So at least we should know that the two qualities that Krishna mentions that the demons don't have, that these are the qualities that we should develop if we want to come to the mode of goodness. Namely, truthfulness, cleanliness, and proper behavior. Proper behavior means to act on behalf of Krishna. Cleanliness means internally and externally to be clean, internal cleanliness, that is to be conscious of Krishna. And truthfulness means to be in harmony with Krishna's desires. Because we're living a lie that I'm this body and I'm this mind, and that my purpose in life is to gratify my senses. So that's all a lie, actually. Not only it's illusion, but it's untruthful. If you put forward yourself as a very rich person, just like sometimes people write books, how to make $1 million in 3 weeks. And they're writing it because they're living on the street and they have no money. They're trying to get enough money to afford a meal, so they write a book, how to become a millionaire in 3 weeks. So some unexpected person is going to buy it. But if the person had any knowledge of why is he living on the street? Why didn't he make $1 million himself? So he's presenting himself as something he's not. And when we identify ourselves with these gross and subtle bodies, we're also presenting ourselves as something that we're not. And on that basis, that's why that's the cause of suffering. Because whatever body we get, everyone has to enjoy or suffer the same sufferings. If we have $1 million by our pious activities, or billions of dollars by our past pious activities, yes, we won't suffer because we don't have enough money to afford heat. We can put heat in every room in our house, and we'll be okay financially. But that's not the ultimate suffering, because even it's a little cool, after some time you can, just like one time, devotee wanted to buy Prabhupada a shoal, and they presented it to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was not very impressed. Actually, no, it wasn't a show. Prabhupada said that in Vrindavan, when they were building Prabhupada's house in Vrindavan, the Prabhupada has his own little house in Vrindavan. So at that time, Sarabi's wife, Kishori, because she comes from a family in France where they use fireplaces a lot. So she insisted, Sarabi was the architect, that in Prabhupada's room they put a fireplace. And during the winter, because it gets quite chilly in Vrindavan in the winter, that then they could heat up the fireplace and Prabhupada would stay warm along with his guests. So they finished the building when Prabhupada came, and Prabhupada saw the fireplace. He said, "What's that?" He says, "The fireplace." Sarabi said, "We made it so you can burn some wood and keep warm during the winter with your guests who come here for darshan." So Prabhupada said, "In India we never do that. We never burn wood to get warm." He said, "We just put on a shawl, one of these chadas. We put on a chada. That way we keep warm. We don't kill trees just to keep ourselves warm." So people don't know we've created this society where we do things not according to what's convenient for other living entities, what's the proper way of relating to them. It's for our own sense gratification. We'll sacrifice anything. But because people don't even know that trees have souls within them, they feel no at all compunction for cutting it down and using it for one's sense gratification. But the Vedic culture is different. They take into account the reality that every body has a soul within it, and every soul has a right to live, even if it's a tree or an ant. And therefore, that's what's to be done. On the other hand, if we have an impersonal conception of life, that everyone is a material body, and that's all, there's no soul, there's no karma, there's nothing, then we do everything whimsically, whatever we feel like it, because there's no standard. Of course, they have standards that you shouldn't previously, if you don't kill, no abortion. Previously also, you're not supposed to kill old people. But now it's because they have no real standard, they have no conception of the soul, they have no conception of karma, they have no conception of reincarnation, they have no real clear conception of anything scientifically. Therefore, they just whimsically pass laws. Okay, now you can kill children. Okay, now you can kill old people. Now you can kill people who are sick. So the result is that the society becomes more and more degraded. There's no appreciation. If everyone is material, then whether you put the garbage in an incinerator or you throw someone in the incinerator, it makes no difference. They're both about the same in your vision. But the laws of material nature are very strict. They don't allow such things, and therefore one has to suffer the reaction. And the reaction is we wind up, someone's going to throw you the next lifetime in the incinerator. And as a result of your sinful activities, you're going to have to go down to the lower species of life for some time, for a long time, to learn that actually, if you're not kind to others, they won't be kind to you either, especially in the animal form of life. When the tiger catches a deer, the other tigers don't preach to him, or the deer don't gather around and say, "Give him a chance, he's a nice deer, he never did you any harm. Try to be merciful." Soften your heart a little bit. So you ever think of becoming a vegetarian? That deer may be someone's mother, You're creating orphans unnecessarily. No, the tiger doesn't take any consideration, nor do the other animals have any knowledge of the tiger. Therefore, he doesn't commit sins, but he doesn't get any transcendental realization by offering the deer to Krishna. nor would Krishna accept it. Therefore, of life is meant to develop some awareness so that we can make progress to get out of this material conceptions of life. And part of it is that we have to learn how to respect others, understand what the laws of material nature are, at least theoretically, and then apply it within our lives and see what the result is. The more we are able to get out of the material conception of life, then the easier it is to remember Krishna. Just to get out of the material conception of life, just to know how the laws of material nature work, are not sufficient to actually become satisfied. One has to have a clear mind, clear consciousness, pure intelligence, and then one has to utilize that to fix one's consciousness upon Krishna, to enter into the transcendental realm, not to have a nice, happy life in the material realm or merge in Brahman and have a vacation from the material existence for some long period of time and then come back again. No, the idea of having a clear, pure intelligence, even in this world, is so that we don't forget Krishna while we're doing our activities. We don't put ourselves in a situation where it's likely that Maya is going to carry away our intelligence because we just are acting whimsically. Therefore, the laws are given, and if we don't know, we should gather around, like Krishna gathered around with Bhima and Arjuna and Draupadi, and discuss things so that some conclusion is reached. There's no perfect conclusion in the material world because we're all eternal. Therefore, even if you supposedly execute someone, generally it was done out of compassion for the person. It's hard to say to someone, I'm going to kill you right now because I feel compassionate to you. But that's possible in this. If one is conscious of actually how things work, that you don't compassionately kill innocent people. You compassionately kill people who are sinful. You execute them as the king has a right to do, so that the person will not have to suffer all the reactions for his sinful activity. So that takes knowledge of, according to one's position, what one's duty is, and if one does his duty properly, then one becomes elevated. And if one doesn't do his duty properly, no matter what position we have, then we become degraded. So we shouldn't be so much anxious to think that we know everything. The consultation is necessary, especially with Guru, Sadhana, and Shastra. When Draupadi and Arjuna and Bhima and Krishna are discussing, they're discussing on the basis of knowledge, of Shastra, not just because Draupadi was sentimental, but also that's something to take into account, that the son of one's teacher should also be respected. As she said, we don't want to put Dronacharya's wife into distress. She's already lost her husband. The son is a representative, so if we kill the son, it would not put her in distress. So she was in distress. She didn't want to put others into distress. So that was her argument, which is a valid argument, not the highest argument, but it was an effective argument because they didn't kill Ashwatthama. But anyhow, this is the material world. Whatever you do, nothing's perfect. Until you get, the only perfection is to get out of the material world. So although Parikshit Maharaj's body was burnt, he had the opportunity to see Krishna. And Krishna restored his body. And therefore he was able to sit down on the bank of the Ganges for 7 days and hear Krishna, about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, without any deviation of his mind. Because he was so fixed in trying to find Krishna, and now he's gotten the opportunity to become deeply absorbed in Krishna consciousness by the mercy of Shukadeva Goswami and go back to the spiritual world where he could always be with Krishna. So it appears rather negative that Ashwatthama was let go, tried to kill the Pandavas, but he wasn't able to do it. But he was able to kill, in one sense, Parikshit Maharaj, but Krishna saved him and gave him even a better benediction by appearing before him in the womb. And therefore, from the very beginning of even before he was born, Parikshit Maharaj was very enthusiastic, very anxious to find Krishna. So we should become so fortunate to become anxious, to become Krishna conscious. Even if we had to burn our finger or something to do so. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, so let's follow the laws of Krishna today. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande.